I wanted to make this video. There was a kid at the gym. He had asked me, hey bro, I'm 17 years old. What should I kind of be doing to set myself up for success? And I felt really bad because I was kind of in a rush. I was leaving and I couldn't really give him a full-fledged answer. I kind of gave him a sort of quick response and things like that. And I even overheard him saying man, that's what all these guys say. And even though it was the truth, I felt really, really bad. And I wanted to give a more elaborate response. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but hopefully you see this video at some point in time and you can take it and apply it and make a lot of money, right? So if I was 17 again, 18 again, 20 again, these are the three things that I would 100% do all over again, and hopefully you can take this and apply it to your own situation, right? So let's get right into it. No BS, no fluff, let's get it. One of the biggest things that I feel that cripples our society as an entrepreneur is multiple streams of income, the fallacy that you need to be doing all these different things in order to be successful. And as much as that is helpful, as much as that is great, most people probably do have the bandwidth to do such a thing. It is not effective. I was literally the brokest I've ever been when I was trying to do multiple things at once. I had Airbnbs, I had real estate, I had event spaces, I had all these different things going on, and I'm just sitting in my apartment and I'm like, why am I broke? So if I can do it all over again, now that I'm a slightly more mature entrepreneur, I would be focusing on one thing. And not only focusing on one thing, but I would be making sure that I become so world class in that one thing that nobody else can touch me. Because think about it like this. There are people who make millions of dollars selling toilet paper, people who make millions of dollars selling real estate, people who make millions of dollars selling clothes, so on and so forth. You get the picture. But it's really difficult to beat somebody who that's all they do. So you can do Airbnb, he can do real estate, he can sell books, he can sell clothes, but if they each focus on that one thing, nobody will be able to be each one of those guys at their respective industry. So if I can turn back the hands of time, I would literally just go all in, focus on my event space business, and then when I make that switch to consulting, which we have now, I would go all in on consulting. I wouldn't have any side projects, I wouldn't have any side businesses, I wouldn't have any side hustles. Now I understand that a lot of people, as they're kind of getting things going, they need money, right? You strap for cash, right? You got a baby on the way, you got a wife, you got a rent, whatever the case may be. And I get that and I understand that, right? But it doesn't mean you have to do every single side hustle that you see on TikTok. You feel what I'm saying? You can have your job while building your email marketing agency on the side. You can have your job while flipping real estate on the side. And you can have your job while having a cleaning business on the side. And truthfully, and if you really look deep and hard about it, if you're not making money at that side hustle, it's probably because you're not that good at it. Let's keep a spade, right? So I would take that money and I would take that time to invest into more skills, invest into more time perfecting my craft, skill stacking, so that I can become world-class at the thing, so I can eventually actually charge money for it, right? So that's number one. Number two, and this is actually the thing that I told the kid, and he was just this is what everybody says, but get your credit right? Get your credit right. I see a lot of people kind of skip this step, and especially being in the event spaces where that requires a certain amount of financial injection, a lot of people skip this step about having personal credit, and they think that business credit is gonna solve all their problems, or business credit is going to make the world go round, or whatever the case may be. And as much as business credit is a thing, and it is a solution, and it is an option, it's not the be all and end all. You still need good personal credit in order to go ahead and build good business credit. Why? Because there's such a thing called a PG, right? A personal guarantee. Now, when it comes to a personal guarantee, if you want to go to a bank such as Chase or such as Wells Fargo or such as American Express, they're going to be looking at that personal credit profile. And if that personal credit profile is full of derogatories, is full of late payments, is looking like a 560, no one's going to want to touch you. Can you still build business credit? Yes, you can go create an LLC, you can go get your vendor accounts, whatever the case may be, but you're not going to be getting no $50,000 loan from Chase off the LLC in 2 months. It's just not gonna happen. Or even if it does, it's extremely unlikely. You see what I'm saying? So I want a lot of people, and especially if I'm 18 again, if I'm 20 again, or whatever the case may be, I'm working on building my credit. How would I go about it, right? So number one, educate yourself about credit. Follow people in the credit space. You know, I got my guy, Haitian CEO, Herman, he's great. There's just a lot of people in the space, you know, just of course you curate who you want to take your advice from, because a lot of people say a lot of different things and they're really not that qualified, right? The next thing is that you absolutely want to make sure once you understand you have a good foundation of how credit works and whatnot, you 100% want to start the repair, build, leverage process, right? So how does that look, right? Repair, build, leverage. So when it comes down to repair, it's like, all right, cool. Credit's broken down to 5 phases, right? Inquiries, utilization, age of history, et cetera, right? So when it comes down to repair, we want to make sure, all right, cool. I want to have all those inquiries. You can remove any inquiries that are not attached to an open account, right? On the personal side, right? Business is something different. You want to make sure you don't have late payments. You want to make, because late payments will ruin you for sure, right? You want to make sure you don't have any collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies. I mean, if you have a bankruptcy at 18, I'm not too sure what you're doing, but hey, no judgment zone, right? So you want to make sure that these things are in check. Number 2 is build. How do I build credit? Well, I want to get a longer history, right? On average, you want to see at least an average of 4 years of history on your credit, right? I can make another video on credit and whatnot if you all think that this is like, you know, helpful or whatever the case may be. I could do that later. But for right now, I'm just kind of scratching the surface, right? I want to make sure I have at least average 4 years of history. I want to make sure that I have at least personal credit cards under my name, not authorized users, personal credit cards that are under my name, as in I applied for it, my social security number's on it, and I got approved, right? That's where the repair process comes from. We're gonna repair, turn around, get those credit cards, and now once you have those, your own personal credit cards, you've let them aged out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You turn around, get an LLC. Now you can start leveraging and building business credit, right? I can go to a bank like Chase Bank with an LLC, a great credit score such as a 680 plus, 700 ideally, 4 years of history, very, very minimal inquiries, no late payments, and I can get 50,000. It's not impossible. I can do that because I took the time to repair, build, and leverage my credit score. You feel what I'm saying? So again, once you're 18, right? I think the kid was 17 or so, but like once you're 18, obviously you can start building credit and whatnot, but you want to make sure that you take care of it. You want to make sure that you're using it as your best interest, because credit is a very, very powerful tool. I know 20-year-olds with $200,000 available liquid credit. You know, you could take that and go and invest in a property, invest in event space, invest in an Airbnb, invest in skills, masterminds, mentorships, whatever the case may be. Like, but obviously don't be irresponsible with it. Don't be going out there, you 20 years old, buying bust down chains, buying Rari, buying Chanel bags for this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. Like, that's not a wise decision, right? Take this time and take this information to invest in you, right? Alex Hormozi always talks about like the S&Me 500 instead of the S&P 500. Make sure you're getting a return on the investment of you, because that will pay itself over and over and over again, right? And then last but not least, I'm gonna move over here, right? But last but not least, social media, right? Now, this is honestly probably the one, ironically, that I regret the most, simply because I didn't use it as well as I should have, right? Social media can be the best tool for you and your business, but only if you let it. If I can do social media all over again, it would literally be me unfollowing all the girls, unfollowing all the baddies, unfollowing all the models, and only focusing on entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, people who just make you get up and get it in the morning. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, like, I hear a lot of people, especially like younger guys, they're just like, yeah, bro, I have to delete Instagram, you know, it was too much of a distraction. I'm like, it's a distraction because you let it be a distraction. It can be the greatest motivator, it can be the greatest lead generator, it can be the greatest thing for you and your business if you let it, right? I only use Instagram for business now, so like I don't see myself ever getting off unless they literally take it off the face of the planet, because it makes me money, because I learn from it, because I'm going and I'm using it as a tool to invest in me and invest in my business. So for you, I wouldn't delete the app, I would delete the distractions. And they're not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Curate your followers, curate your follower count. Just because somebody's your homie from high school, whatever the case may be, does not mean you have to follow him. A lot of people that I meet, like face to face, they'll be like, follow me on Instagram. And I'd be like, just because I know you, and this is just me being real, like I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like, just because I know you doesn't mean that I have to follow you, because I may not like your content. I may not be interested in what you have to post. I really don't care that you had a caramel macchiato at Starbucks. Like I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I'm following people who pour into me and just make me really excited to check my newsfeed. Okay? So again, just to kind of recap real quick. Number one, focus on one thing. Stop getting distracted with, I can do 10 million different things because I'm 20 years old and full of energy. Believe me, it creeps up to 25 real fast. Letting you know that right now, all right? Focus on one thing, become world-class at one thing. If you wanna do email marketing, become the best freaking email marketer you can possibly be. If you wanna be a clothing designer, be the best, be freaking, I don't know, the next Hermes, whatever you're into, you know what I'm saying? The next, I don't know, Virgil Abloh, I don't know, whatever kids are into nowadays, right? Like, be world class. World class. Ta-da! That's emphasis. Be world class at whatever it is that you want to do, because again, you can make $1 million doing anything. There's the dude from Panda Express literally made like $3 billion last year selling Chinese food, like Kung Pao chicken, orange chip. Like, you feel? I mean, I bang with Panda Express. So, but like, that's my point. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Does a rising tide lift all ships? Yes, there are certain industries that are hard, that are lit. You know, NFTs was busting for a day or whatever the case may be. You know, AI is popping now. Like, yes, there are certain things where you can just kind of catch a wave, but it doesn't mean you're equipped, and it doesn't mean that's the best option for you, right? Credit. Goes without saying, have good credit. It'll open up doors for you that you never thought would be possible. Why would I use my own money if I could use the banks, right? And then last but not least, social media. I mean, like, you know, I get it. You might be young, you might be watching this video right now, and you're just kind of like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still out here, I'm still getting it. That's cool, you can do that, but use the app for what it's intended and be social, right? Use the app to be social, but use the app to also make money, start a business. And if you don't want to do that, then you can't really say it's a distraction because you're letting it distract you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I really hope this was helpful. I hope that, you know, the kids that were at the gym see this video and this is helpful. I apologize again, I couldn't really give you the best response possible, but hopefully, like I said, you see this video and you get some value from it. Let's go.